You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, an early Monday morning crash in Newton County causes a car to overturn, but causes no injuries.
Also, kids make fun with art and not fine art at the Fort Scott Winter Art Camp.
And the roads are clearing, the temperatures are warming, and the winds will be increasing. We're going to take a look at all of that in your forecast coming up.
4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Amber Jenkins. A Circassian, Missouri man dies on a Joplin railroad track. Authorities say just before 10 p.m. Sunday night, random Chili's went on the railroad tracks west of businesses closer to the Fountain Road overpass north of Joplin. A Kansas City train then hit Chili's. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Nobody on the train was hurt, and there is no word yet on why he was on the tracks. Earlier Monday morning, Newton County authorities responded to a single car crash near State Route NN and Dutch M. The car was driving east on Dutch M and left the roadway, hitting a guardrail and then overturning. No one was injured. Authorities say they will be replacing the guardrail in the coming days, but for now, use caution through the area. The guardrail will be marked for caution. Make fun art, not fine art. That's the motto of Happy Snappy Art and Paint Parties Kids Winter at Art Camp. The camp kicked off in Fort Scott, Kansas on Monday. Parents paid a $25 reservation fee and paid the remaining $100 balance on the first day of camp. It provides kids a chance to complete and take home 5 different paintings.
I think my bear was my favorite because it's one of my favorite animals. And I like the snowflakes. I like, well, the nose I don't like, but I like the other part, and it's good.
When asked why Reed didn't like the nose, it was because it was too mushy. The camp is at 702 South National in Fort Scott and will run until 4 p.m. December 30th. With more than 3,900 flights in or out of the United States having been canceled by 10:50 on Monday, thus Converse just wanted to get home to Sacramento. However, Titus wasn't alone, and 2 complete strangers took a chance on him and helped him get home. Ashley Sharp has more on this road trip home.
It's a story that plays out like a Christmas movie. Titus Converse, trying to get home to Sacramento Friday, finds himself stranded in the Phoenix airport as a flight delayed becomes a flight canceled.
There's nothing on the website that says that there's an available flight. Everything's not looking good.
He's not alone. The lines of people trying to rebook their canceled flights grow by the hundreds.
The line felt like Disneyland without the fun.
But a chance encounter in that not-so-merry line is where Titus's Christmas adventure home would begin.
I was like, it feels like we're in a movie.
Striking up conversation with 2 strangers who just so happen to also be Sacramento-bound, a new plan is presented.
I was like, what if we just drove?
So the 2 girls, Becky and Tori, take a chance on Titus. They ditch the airport and all load up in a rental car together, ready for a 12-hour drive home.
It's such a silly life that we're living. It was like, I cannot believe that this is actually happening.
They took turns driving straight through the night, getting to know each other along the way.
In today's day and age, you don't see strangers helping other strangers too much.
The generosity meant they all made it home the afternoon of Christmas Eve. Titus, glad to see family and to carry on Christmas traditions, like fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, admitting the little things are a bit sweeter this year.
A story that I'll never forget, a Christmas Eve I'll never forget.
Well, the good news is traveling around the 4 states getting a little bit easier as the roads are clearing out. You can see on the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line, it's looking a lot better. Both MoDOT and KDOT reporting considerably improved conditions across the region. You may need to take a couple extra minutes to scrape some frost off your car this morning, especially if you're heading back to work after a long holiday weekend. I know that's not what you want to do this early in the morning, but it's going to have to be done. We are 12 degrees in Joplin right now, feeling like 3 with a south south breeze at 6 under partly cloudy skies. We got a cold start for us, but we also have a southerly breeze kicking in, which is good news. 13 Pittsburgh, 17 Chanute, 14 in Miami, 13 in Carthage. You factor in that slight south breeze, and at least right now, it's not so pleasant out there. 2 in Nevada. It feels like 3 in Pittsburgh, 7 in Miami, and 6 in Carthage. So a very chilly start for us as we start our day. Now, as we go through today, all right, not bad though. 39 for the high. Under partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, we could see winds gusting about 20 miles an hour or so. As we head into tonight, I'm going to talk about tonight separately here in just a moment. We had an early low of 34 degrees. South breeze increases significantly. Temperatures begin to rise towards sunrise, near 40 by 6 a.m., so not bad. But the winds will rise along with that temperature. This is by 5 a.m. tomorrow. We could see wind gusts. Now, that's the one thing. These aren't the sustained winds. These are gusts. But these gusts could push 50 to 60 miles an hour early tomorrow morning and kind of hang out in that range as we go through the day on Wednesday into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. It won't be until Thursday afternoon before the wind actually starts to calm down and clear on out of here, as you can see. But in the meantime, those winds could be enough to down some small tree limbs and could cause some power outages across the area, and of course making vehicles, whether they're high profile or not, very difficult to drive. So do be aware of that over the next couple of days. It's going to be very breezy, but it's also going to be considerably warmer. We're looking at 53 tomorrow, 60 on Thursday, 56 by Friday. Could see a stray shower to New Year's Eve day, but those should be out of here before it's time to celebrate. 53, 55 on New Year's Day, partly cloudy, so not bad there. And then by next week, we're starting to look at some thunderstorm chances and highs pushing close to 60 again by next Monday.
Up next, why if you call out sick, you might secretly enjoy it. But no worries, we won't tell your employer if you do.
And later, last week, we told you about a horse that was rescued from an icy lake. Well, now that horse has been reunited with its owner. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, the way you cook your potatoes might decrease or increase your chances of getting type 2 diabetes. A new study by the Diabetes Care Journal found that fried or mashed potatoes, usually made with butter, oil, and cream, present a higher risk rather than boiled ones. The study consists of 54,000 participants, all who self-reported their diets. Previous research has shown a link between diabetes and potatoes intake. Now new findings showing that it's really how you prepare the potatoes and what you prepare them with is significant. Current cold weather conditions could be causing issues with your lungs. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic say that cold, dry air hitting much of the U.S. could be causing a condition called bangzanoism, a tightening of the chest or a sensation like shortness of breath. People who suffer from chronic lung conditions such as COPD could feel those symptoms worsening in extreme cold. Doctors say don't be outside in such situations if possible. Having an extra inhalers or even backup medical breathing equipment such as a CPAP or oxygen concentrators could also be helpful. A new study shows harmful effects of smoking beyond respiratory and cardiovascular problems. Scientists at Ohio State University say smokers could be putting themselves at risk for cognitive decline. The findings come after a 2019 data review of more than 136,000 recent or former smokers. Participants did their own self-assessment of cognitive decline. Smokers in the 45 to 59 age range were more likely to experience memory loss and confusion. Researchers think that the longer the time between smoking and quitting, the less risks are for cognitive decline. If you call out sick from work, are you secretly glad that you did it? A new one poll says 3 out of 4 Americans who call out from work are quite happy about it and enjoy staying at home. About a third say they enjoy being pampered. 41% of the people who are surveyed say they use the time to clean their homes. A sick out person's favorite comfort includes over-the-counter medications, a favorite blanket or comforter, easy access to control the home temperature, hot tea, and chicken noodle soup. And the worst annoyances include the inability to enjoy those favorite foods and their spouse. Christmas fun events so often focus on young people, but health experts say don't forget about the elderly and the seniors during the holiday. Mental health experts at Cleveland Clinic say seniors are still dealing with the after effects of social isolation from the pandemic. Appearing sad or bored may be some of the signs of possible problems. Isolation in seniors can affect their mood, cognitive abilities, and even their blood pressure, blood sugar, or cholesterol. Make sure to look in on them, go for a walk with them, make a meal with them, or get involved with their favorite activities.
It's going to be warmer today. We're heading for a high of 39 degrees, maybe some gusty winds out there, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. And tonight, not nearly as cold. In fact, it's going to warm up. We start at 34 for the low, and temperatures will warm to near 40 by sunrise. We'll have a complete look at your forecast when we come back. A Wisconsin waitress worked Christmas Day, just like she does every year. But this year, she received an unexpected gift. Cody Taylor reports.
Callie Blue is a waitress at Gus's Diner in Sun Prairie. Blue said she works every Christmas, and she said it's something she really enjoys.
I went to work yesterday at 5:30 in the morning after Gus woke me up at 4:50.
This Christmas, while she was waiting on tables, she received something she will never forget.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Hey,
it is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Here, opened the restaurant, and Michael Johnson, who is the CEO of Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, walked in. Talked to him about 45 minutes. I did not know who he was. This was his first time here, and he tipped me $1,000 before he left.
Michael Johnson, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, pays it forward every year.
I was a kid who didn't really like the holidays because I grew up in the projects, and my mother just didn't have much, and so it was a holiday that I struggled with.
Now every holiday season, Johnson tries to make people's holiday special.
We gifted a car to a family of 5. You'll see that, over the holidays, we delivered toys to over 600 kids and their families. We took families on shopping sprees.
Johnson also had some extra time to stop by Gus's Diner in Sun Prairie and give Blue the largest tip she'd ever received.
At first I thought it was a total joke, and then I realized it was real, and I cried. It was shocking, and I'm very thankful for it.
Blue said Johnson made her Christmas very special, but more than that, she said it also changed her view of the world.
An incredible story there. We've got some decently incredible weather on the way as well. Look at this. Roads, MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line, they are starting to look a lot clearer, and that's going to continue. However, because it is so cold, you may have to spend a couple extra minutes scraping some frost off your car, so be aware of that. Right now in Joplin, it is cold, 12 degrees, feels like 3 with a south breeze at about 6 miles an hour. Across the region, we are cold, but we have a southerly breeze working in. That's going to help warm us up over the next few days. 15 in Iola, 13 in Pittsburgh, 14 Miami, 13 Neosho and Carthage. And you factor in that light south breeze, and at least right now it's not helping because it feels like 2 in Nevada, 3 in Pittsburgh, 7 in Miami, feels like 10 down in Neosho. Now as we go through the day, temperatures will rise, which is a good thing. 39 degrees for the high. We could see some wind gusts around, say, 20 miles an hour or so. Otherwise, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. And as we head into this evening, we have an early low of 34. And then temperatures will begin to rise as we head through the overnight hours to near 40 degrees by sunrise. However, there's another problem, though, that's developing. While the south breeze is good, it helps bring in some warm air, which we'll look at on the 7-day. It's also going to get very breezy out of the south over the next couple of days. So as we head into tomorrow morning, about 5 a.m., we're looking at wind gusts that could be pushing 50 to 60 miles an hour across the area. And that's just the gusts. And so the thing is we've been mentioning it the last couple of days now, those gusts could result in some small tree limbs being down, could cause some power outages. They're going to cause their own problems. While they're ushering in considerably warmer air, it's going to be downright breezy out there, and that will continue as we go through the day on Wednesday. And as we head into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday early morning, still gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. It won't be until Thursday afternoon that the winds finally start to calm down for us. But between now and then, it's going to get very breezy. Make sure your trash is secured, your trash can is secured, and just be prepared for the possibility of some power outages across the area. As again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts can wreak some havoc out there. 53 tomorrow, though, so this is the warmer weather I was talking about. We just have to deal with that wind. 60 on Thursday, 56 by Friday, mostly cloudy each of those days. Maybe a stray shower or two earlier in the day on New Year's Eve day. It should be gone by time to celebrate. 53. First day of 2023, not bad, well above average, 55 and partly cloudy. And as we head into Monday of next week, we're watching the possibility of thunderstorms. We're also watching temperatures push back closer to 60 degrees. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
We take this time to honor today's Forest State hero, Abe Thompson. Staff Sergeant Thompson served in the Army in 1944. He served in Central Europe with the 39th Field Artillery Battalion. During his service, he earned a Bronze Star Medal, an American Defense Ribbon, and a Good Conduct Medal. A native of Pittsburgh, Kansas, we thank you, today's Forest State hero, Abe Thompson.
Well, a pet horse in Minnesota is recovering after falling through ice last week. The horse's owner was out of town at the time of the accident, but the two reunited Friday, solidifying their bond even more.
Yona Copland has the story.
Hi, buddy. Hello.
If only her father got this kind of embrace when he picked her up at the airport.
Good boy.
But girl dads like Eric McKinley get it. His daughter Hope is happiest around her horse Wilson.
It's kind of hard to explain. There's just something between us that is unbreakable, and it's hard to put into words. Like, you can only just feel it.
Hope was due home anyway for Christmas, but the trip back from veterinary school in Montana, it couldn't come soon enough. When she got word that Wilson escaped from home, wandered 6 miles, and fell through the ice of Big Wood Lake in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. It took 4 hours for a team of friends, neighbors, and a tow truck driver to rescue the 1,200-pound Mustang without any heavy machinery. The ice was only 4 inches thick.
I was kind of speechless, honestly. He was just scared, away from home.
Just looked over him today. Everything's looking great.
Wilson's vet on Friday giving Hope a lot of good news. The swelling is down. Wilson's muscles are moving again. The only lingering issue is a cut above the eye from the ice.
You did great, Wilson.
The doctor's orders moving forward: more rest, more love, more treats, and that's just fine with Hope. The best Christmas gift,
Come here, buddy. Hi.
is just being in Wilson's presence.
That's incredible. Now, Wilson is 18 years old.
Mustangs like him can live up to be 30.
So that's just, it's just fascinating and absolutely incredible that the horse wasn't more seriously injured, especially being in the cold for as long as he was before they were able to pull him out. So
It's shocking, but I'm glad he made it through.
I'm sure his owner is very glad he made it through. Well, we got another 30 minutes of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. A Circoxie, Missouri man dies on a drop-in railroad track. Authorities say just before 10 p.m. Sunday night, random Charlies went on the railroad tracks west of businesses closer to the Fountain Road overpass north of Joplin. A Kansas City Southern train then hit Chili's. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Nobody on the train was hurt, and there is no word yet on why he was on the tracks. Earlier Monday morning, Newton County authorities responded to a single car crash near State Route NN and Dutch Elm. This car was driving east on Dutch Elm and left the roadway, hitting a guardrail and then overturning. No one was injured. Authorities say they will be replacing the guardrail in the coming days, but for now, use caution through the area. The guardrail will be marked for caution. Make fun art, not fine art. That's the motto of Happy Snappy Art and Paint Party's Kids Winter Art Camp. The camp kicked off in Fort Scott, Kansas on Monday. Parents paid a $25 reservation fee and paid the remaining $100 balance on the first day of camp. It provides kids a chance to complete and take home 5 different paintings.
I really enjoy the kids. Our whole motto here is happy art, not fine art, fun art. And That's kind of the definition of art, is to evoke an emotional response.
The camp is at 702 South National in Fort Scott and will run until 4 p.m. December 30th. If you already taken down your Christmas trees but aren't sure what to do with it, the City of Joplin has 3 collection points for discard. Starting yesterday and running through January 31st, you can discard natural trees at the following locations: Humphrey Park on Ithaca Street in the Royal Heights area, McNindo Park at Glendale Road in Jackson Avenue, place trees at the southwest corner of the parking lot, and the Public Works Center at 1301 West 2nd Street. Just look for the Christmas tree drop-off sign. People are welcome to pick up the trees for use in establishing fish habitats. Joplin City Hall will take the remaining trees to the city's processing site to be chipped. This morning, we are discussing adopting animals.
Monica McCarker has lived in Watertown for 5 years. A couple of months ago, she returned home to the West Bank to visit her family with her husband Elias and their daughter. And that's when they found someone they just couldn't leave behind.
The couple approached the dog and gave her and her puppies food and water. They worked on getting her into the only shelter in the West Bank and checked on her every day in the same spot they found her.
That brings us to our question for you. Do you have any plans to adopt an animal anytime soon? So far, 80% of you say you do not. 20% of you say that you do. Make sure you vote through our website, through our app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. It's a little bit better for us across the area today. Look at that. This is I-44 and Range Line. The MoDOT camera there. You can see the roads. MoDOT, KDOT, all reporting that the roads are considerably clearer than where they have been lately. However, because it is so cold, if you're heading out to work maybe for the first time in a few days, you got some frost you're going to need to scrape off of there. Might take you a couple of extra minutes. It is cold though, as I mentioned, 12 degrees in Joplin, feeling like 3 with a south breeze at 6 miles an hour. And as we take a look at temperatures across the region, it is cold. 15 Iola, 17 Chanute, 16 Chetopa, Miami, 13 Neosho, and 12 in Carthage. Now let's factor in the wind. Feels like -1 in Greenfield, 1 in Nevada, 2 in Fort Scott, 4 in Columbus, and 8 in Neosho. So much colder out there. However, it's going to be warmer as the day progresses. Not warm, but better than where it has been. 39 for the high today. And they're mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Winds could be gusting upwards of, say, about 20 miles an hour or so. As we head into tonight, an early low of 34. South breeze continues, and we'll actually start to warm up to near 40 as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. So that'll be nice. But the nice temperatures come with a trade-off. We're talking 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. We're looking at winds gusting 50 to 60 miles an hour. That will continue through the day on Wednesday into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Here we are at 3 a.m. Winds still gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. And then it's not until late Thursday that we finally see the winds start to calm down out there, which is going to be good. But in the meantime, those kinds of winds could cause their own problems with maybe some small branches being down and potential power outages, so just be prepared for that. Otherwise, at least it's going to be nice. 53 tomorrow, 60 by Thursday, 56 on Friday. Stray shower or 2 possible on New Year's Eve day, but that should be out of here before it's time to celebrate the new year. 53, first day of 2023, well above average, but not bad, partly cloudy and 55. And as we head into Monday of next week, we're looking at 57 and some thunderstorms in our future. We'll have a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Once again, we have our great friend Charlene Patton here with us from the Kansas Soybean Commission. Welcome back. Some really terrific recipes through the month so far, and we're not quite done yet. We also have this one. So what have we got in front of us here?
Well, whether you're getting ready for a New Year's party or a bowl game, watching that football game, we have another winning recipe from the Kansas State Fair Heart Healthy Recipe Contest that the Kansas Soybean Commission sponsors. I'll let you say who won this recipe.
Yeah, this one is Monica Miller Brown from Thompson, Missouri. So
it's kind of fun that she's from Missouri and she came over and entered our Kansas State Fair recipe contest. She got 3rd place with this recipe, but it's a wonderful recipe that you'll want to have for your dips and for the football game. I have the mayonnaise in here. We have 1 cup of mayonnaise, and soybeans are a key ingredient in mayonnaise. So you look at the label, then you're going to add some of our other ingredients. We have edamame, and I just cooked that according to the package directions. We have 1.5 cups of edamame there, and it's cooked, and we'll add that. You can see there's lots of good colors here in this recipe. Then she calls for 1 cup of our corn here, and she gives directions for either grilling it outside or to kind of give it that grill marks and cook it there. But what I found in the grocery store, since it's cold outside right now, was there's fire roasted corn. So this is canned corn that you can use during the winter. You'll love this. This is 5 strips of bacon that we're going to add to this that cook. I cut it into, there we go, 1/2-inch little pieces, and then cooked it till it was crisp. Then you don't have to worry about crumbling it. Now we have 2 tomatoes that we're going to add to this that I've chopped. Great job.
And now we're going to add the whole bowl to this recipe.
Yes, we are a little bit. We have some green onion here, and then some sharp cheddar cheese. Very good. I'll put that over here. How about all those colors in this?
This is looking great so far.
Then we have a little bit of lime juice, and I just did fresh lime juice, but you know that really makes a nice addition. Just kind of brightens and freshens up the recipe, and a little bit of salt and pepper.
All right.
Now, how easy was that?
Also that's the wonderful thing about all these so far is they've been easy to make and they look like fantastic dishes.
So we just stir that together, and then you can see how we've served it in a bowl here with chips, but you could also add vegetables there to it. But really, it makes a great dip to have for the holidays here and watching the football game. If they want any of the recipes that we've done this month, we've got 4 great holiday recipes that we've done. Go to our website at kansassoybeans.org or call us at 877-KS-SOYBEAN, and we'll send them the recipes.
All right, Charlene, thank you so much for making all this delicious food this month. And you can find more links and information on our website as well at KOAMnewsnow.com. And we'll be right back after this. Well, the roads are certainly looking a lot better across the region. Take a look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line. There's still some snow out there on the ground, but the roads are in much better shape. KDOT, MoDOT both reporting that roads are mostly clear across the area. Your car, though, maybe not so much. There may be some frost on there that you're going to have to scrape off because it is a cold one across the area. So if you're commuting to work this morning, give yourself a couple extra minutes to take care of that. It is 12 in Joplin right now, feeling like 3 with a south breeze at 6 miles an hour. And as mentioned, it's cold across the area, but as I also mentioned, something that's kind of key is the south breeze part of this. That's going to make a difference in the next few days. A couple of differences. 15 Iola, 14 Parsons, Chetopa, Miami, Neosho, and 12 in Carthage. And with the wind, feels like 2 below in Greenfield and Stockton, 4 in Pittsburgh, 3 in Columbus. Feels like 7 in Neosho. So a very cold start to our day, but it's going to be a bit milder than what we've seen the last few days. Up to 39 for the high. Under partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Winds could gust upwards of 20 miles an hour. And as we head through tonight, an early low of 34. And then take a look at this. What's behind door number 2? It's warming temperatures overnight. We'll be up to near 40 by sunrise. However, there's a trade-off with that. We've been talking about all morning. We talked about it yesterday too because it's looking like the same situation still. South breeze, 5 a.m. tomorrow, gusting anywhere from 50 to potentially 60 miles an hour across the area, which is not very good because that could cause its own problems with small limbs being downed and the potential for power outages. And those winds will gust like that all through Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It won't be until Thursday afternoon that the winds do begin to calm down. However, the flip side of that is much warmer weather with that southerly breeze. 53 tomorrow, 60 on Thursday, 56 Friday. Stray shower or 2 possible New Year's Eve day, but should be good for your New Year's Eve celebrations, 53. First day of 2023, 55 and partly cloudy. And by Monday of next week, we're watching thunderstorm chances as highs get back up to near 60. That's it for your forecast. Now, here's Amber with Consumer Watch.
Flight cancellations due to the massive winter storm over the weekend left thousands of Americans stranded in airports. Now the Department of Transportation says it will probe the actions of one particular airline, Southwest. Southwest canceled more than 60% of its flights over the holidays. The department says it will look into whether those cancellations were controllable and if the air carrier complied with its customer service plan and other federal rules. Holiday sales grew this year by 7.6% despite the high prices due to inflation, according to data from MasterCard spending pulse. That's still a lot lower pace than last year's growth of 8.5% right after the pandemic. The latest data does not include auto industry sales and is not adjusted for inflation. And next season, NFL Sunday Ticket will have a new home. The National Football League reached a multi-year agreement to stream its Sunday games viewing packages on YouTube. The subscription price has not yet been determined, and the NFL says it will work with YouTube to determine or for commercial establishments such as bars. Since it was the first launch back in 1994, Sunday Ticket has only been available on DirecTV. The year is wrapping up and many will be making financial resolutions for 2023. And experts say don't wait until January 1st to pin down those money moves. Jen Sullivan has 5 things financial experts recommend you do to set yourself up for financial success next year.
Before you ring in the new year, how about reining in your 2023 finances?
You want to be able to have your ducks in a row. You want to have your finances organized.
After a year of historic inflation, rising interest rates, and growing recession fears, this duo of financial experts say now is the perfect time to reflect on your spending and plan for the future.
Prioritize paying off high interest rate debt, bulking up your emergency fund.
If improving your finances is one of your 2023 resolutions, here are 5 money moves to consider these final days of the year. 1. Look ahead and decide which big purchases you'd like to make next year. Then create a plan to afford that new car, house, or trip.
Making sure that you are building all of that into your budget is going to be number 1.
2. Look back at your expenses and figure out what worked and what didn't. 3. Tackle that lingering debt. Either pay it off now and avoid dragging it into next year, or come up with a plan to pay it off in 2023.
We see the feds raising the rates on interest. And so things like credit card debt, personal loans, anything that has a variable interest rate is going to cost you more.
4. Boost your emergency fund. Figure out the most scaled back amount you need in order to get by month to month.
That's going to include housing. It's going to include basic food and groceries, not a lot of dining out.
And 5, decide how much you'll invest next year and in what.
Just make sure that you're earmarking money for investing that you are not going to need for at least the next 10 years.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. KOAM and our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media, are giving new journalists the opportunity for a year of in-depth training, giving them experience in many different aspects of the newsroom.
We're now introducing you to the first group to participate in the program.
KOAM Dow Quick has more.
Jalen Banks is used to taking center stage.
I loved my time here at Southern, being out on the field, just being with my teammates and playing the game that so many people love. Yeah. Good, man? Yeah, man, I'm good.
The former quarterback from Missouri Southern traded his shoulder pads for a suit and tie and a spot on the KOAM news team.
So those are the story ideas that I've got for today. You guys can chime in. Being a team in the newsroom, oh man, to do what we do on a daily basis and seeing how everybody has to work together to put it into a newscast is really cool to see. So now that we've finished,
Jalen's part of the J365 program at KOAM, a team of young journalists who joined an extensive training program to build their reporting skills.
Whether it's my writing, whether it's my reporting, whether it's my anchoring, it's something that I've really had to continue to hone in and work at. There's a lot of tongue twisters in some of these scripts.
Stepping behind the news desk is part of the learning curve.
Get it all out, and I'm like, let's go! Our audience has seen such a great product for so long, and they expect it to continue to be that way. So it motivates individuals like myself to, pursue that level of professionalism and that standard, because the standard's been set so high by the people that's been there for so long. I got super lucky. Just a beautiful, beautiful little girl.
Jalen's motivation today is fueled by his 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, the things you do for your children. Like, I never thought that I would dress up as a cat for Halloween, but yet I did.
As kids tend to do, Ella brought along some life lessons for the young father.
More than anything, it taught me how to be selfless. Someone to look after, someone to, live for, essentially.
Ella lives in LaGrange, Illinois with her mother. Jalen says frequent trips home keep their relationship close.
Having this career, even though I'd love to be closer, but eventually I'd love to be able to see her on a daily basis. But yeah, it's hard.
For now, Jalen continues to hone his journalistic skills in front of a lot of people. Kind of like his time on the football field, with one significant difference.
I don't think that there's too much of a difference other than the fact that I'm not being tackled by a 6'4", 255-pound defensive end. The consequences of messing up aren't too dire, but yeah, I like it. It's exhilarating.
An alert for parents with young kids.
You can find more information about the program on our website at koamnewsnow.com.
You never know when you might get tackled in here, especially on the morning show, though. We have a lot of interesting characters come in, so it's a possibility. But, for myself, I've been here about 6 years watching you and Jalen and Yana and Shagun grow and develop, and Carrie as well, is a rewarding experience for me. I mean, that's what allowed me to transition to morning weather, is we had a great group of new journalists coming in, and you guys are growing and learning, and you'll only continue to grow from here is the great thing.
Definitely. From my experience at KOAM, there are so many mentors. I'm constantly getting feedback, and I know Jalen can say the same, that it is very awe to watch you and Dow and Tanya and everybody else just be stars on air. So
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't go that far with me. I just show up and somehow they put me on television. I don't know what happened, but it just happened that way. The only problem that I've got now that I've transitioned to weather is I have been having to give people bad news lately. But I have some somewhat mixed news, I guess you could say, some good and some bad. We'll start off with some of the bad. We'll go bad, good. How's that sound? Okay, 12 degrees in Joplin right now. Feels like 3 at the south breeze at 6. That's the bad. Okay, here's, part 2 of the bad is the cold. 15 Fort Scott, 13 Pittsburgh, 14 Miami, Neosho, and 12 in Carthage with the wind. Makes it feel like 3 in Fort Scott, Columbus, 8 Miami, 7 Neosho. Check out Greenfield and Stockton, both feeling like 2 below. That's the bad. Here's some good. Up to 39 today for a high. Mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. A pretty good day. Winds could gust upwards of 20 miles an hour. This evening we get down to about 34, and then we'll start to warm through the evening with a southerly breeze. Up to near 40 by sunrise. That's the good. Here's the other half of the bad. Now we're back to the bad. As we head into tomorrow morning, we could see wind gusts pushing 40, 50, potentially 60 miles an hour as we head into early tomorrow morning, and then kind of staying that way through Wednesday, into Wednesday night, and into Thursday. So that's the other part of the bad, because those kinds of winds could cause their own problems. Now, for the part of the good. Up to 53 tomorrow, 60 by Thursday, 56 Friday, stray shower or 2 possible Saturday, 53, New Year's Day, 55, and 57 by Monday with some thunderstorm chances. So good, and bad, or something along those lines, but not bad as we head into the week ahead. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back to KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The death toll is expected to climb in western New York as the first responders continue to search homes, cars, and snowbanks following this past weekend's blizzard. More than 24 people have died in the region since what are some calling the storm of the century dropped more than 4 feet of snow. The government has released reserves of Tamiflu as cases of COVID flu and RSV continue to rise. CVS, Target, and Walgreens are now restricting purchases of over-the-counter children medicine amidst the reports of widespread shortages. And thousands of Americans spent the night at the airport trying to get home after the Christmas holiday. Traveling by air was chaotic Monday after more than 3,900 flights were canceled in the U.S. More cancellations are expected today.
We've got improving travel conditions here, at least in the 4-state area, and we're heading for a high of 39 degrees today with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Tonight we have an early low of 34, and then temperatures will begin to rise as the evening goes on, near 40 by sunrise with those mostly clear skies. And take a look at the 7-day forecast. It gets better, except for the fact we're going to have to deal with winds gusting anywhere from 40, 50, potentially 60 miles an hour tomorrow into Thursday. But we got 53 Wednesday, 60 Thursday, 56 Friday. Maybe a stray shower on New Year's Eve day, 53, 55 New Year's Day, and then we're watching some thunderstorm chances next Monday with a high of 57.
They're a traditional holiday food, and they're the butt of many jokes. Today is National Fruitcake Day.
The dense cakes include chopped, candied, or dried fruit, nuts, spices, and are sometimes soaked in liquors, brandy, or bourbon.
They have a long history dating back to ancient Rome. In modern times, mail-order fruitcake started in America in 1913, and the expression, nutty as a fruitcake, was coined in 1935.
You can mark the day by throwing a fruitcake party in which each guest makes their own version or share a fruitcake recipe or story. I was unaware that you could mail order fruitcakes.
Same. I feel like wouldn't it get old or while it's in the packaging?
Mail ordering food.
I'm iffy on
DoorDash
that.
or something like that, that's one thing.
That's different, yeah.
But mail ordering food, I'm not so sure about. But okay, well, I mean, shoot, back in the day, Sears had a catalog you could order a house from. They
Wow.
had prefabricated houses. You could order a house and they'd build it. So, I mean, you never know, I guess.
I did not know that. That's
Whatever,
crazy.
whatever the case may be. Well, thanks so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today and there.
Have a great morning and even better day.